Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Patrick. Like I said, welcome to the channel. This is your first time, then yeah, welcome to my channel. So tonight I'm going to be doing my first time doing Startrails. I've never done it before. As you saw in one of my last videos, I did a Milky Way time lapse, and I practice everything here at home because I live in a bortle 9, so even if it's a wasted night, it's a wasted night. It doesn't really matter. I can't really image that much from a bortle 9 anyway. So I'm going to be using my Canon 6D with the Rokinon 24mm lens. And luckily, I guess some of the guys, when they have it on infinity focus, actually infinity is back a little bit from what I've seen on a couple, but this one seems to do okay with infinity focus. So I'll leave it there, and then I'll be shooting at 2.8. And for my camera settings, so I'm going to have it on bulb, which might as well get that there now. So I have it on bulb, shooting at 1600, ISO 1600. And I think I'm going to do 25 second exposures, and then for the intervals, I'll do it at 27. So it'll sit for 2 seconds, and then the next one will start, which I'll go over that with the intervalometer, which is just a cheap Amazon JJC. I forget what, I think it's less than 20 bucks. And then also the dummy battery, another Amazon cheap product. So anyway, so yeah, so shooting at 2.8, ISO 1600, probably 25 second long, and then 27 second intervals. I'll put the white balance, I set it to daytime. I think that's it. I'll go over the intervalometer here in a second. Just show you how we set that up in case you've never done it before. So I guess that's it for the camera. So the intervalometer, what I like about this one, I don't know if they're all like that. Like I said, this will be my third time using it. So I can set it all up and then plug it into the camera. I don't have to have it plugged into the camera and being out there in the dark doing it. I could get it all set up in the light, then go out there, just plug it into the camera, and then push the start button and away it goes. So it's got an on-off switch right here on the side, which it won't save your settings. So if you turn it on, you get it all set up. If you turn it off, it resets everything. I don't know if they're all like that, but this one is. So in this one, so across the top, hopefully you'll be able to see that. So you have self, which is the timer. How long do you want it to take before it starts? And everything is in seconds, minutes, and I guess hours. I don't know why. I guess if you want to set it up and leave it for a couple hours, you could have it come back or have it turn on in a couple hours. So the first one is self, which is a timer. How long before you want it to start? The second one is bulb. That's how long your exposure is going to be. Third one is intervals. So you need your intervals to be at least longer than what the bulb is, what the exposure is going to be. And then next one is number. How many do you want it to do? Now this one I've seen a couple people ask, hey, my intervalometer only goes to 399. But if you make it go to where it has the lines going across, it'll run it until you hit the stop button. And then the last one is beep. Whether you want it to beep every time it's going to take an image or whatever, I always leave that off, because when you're out at a bortle 1, it's usually super quiet, so you can hear everything. So that beep would drive me nuts. I probably wouldn't even be able to sleep. So anyway, so I'm going to set this thing up. So let's hit the set button, and we are on self. So I always give it like 10 seconds. That way it gives you time to get it set, to push start, set it down. That way nothing's rocking the camera. So 10 seconds for self, which is the timer. Then you push the arrow, go over to bulb. So I'm going to do 25 seconds. Gotta go up, up, up. 21, 2, 3, 4, 5. 25 seconds. Push the set button. Then it moves over to intervals. So let's set that. We're going to set that to 27 seconds. I think 2 seconds between each image. That should be all right. I know some of the videos I said they just do it constant, but at least this way it gives the sensor 2 seconds to take a break. 2-second break between images. Sounds good. The number. So number I'm going to set it to. Whoop. So it starts at 1, and then if you go down. Okay, now it just made a liar of me. Oh, I had to push the enter button. Okay, so see how those 2 lines are going across? That means it's set to run all night long until I push the stop button. And now for the beep. No beep. So now you won't hear it beeping anymore. Okay, so just to go over, I got a 10-second timer. Bulb is set at 25. Intervals is set to 27. So it'll take a 2-second break between. Number is set to like infinity, the 2 lines, so it'll keep going. I guess that's not the infinity sign, huh? That just means it'll just keep going. No beep. So now, oh, why did I push that? Okay, there. So now it's set. So all I gotta do is push that stop button, and it'll start going. So I'm gonna set that off to the side. That is ready. As long as I don't turn the power off, it'll keep the settings. Now this, I gotta pop the battery out. And put in. Now on the 6D, it has this little rubber piece that I always drop every time. Surprised I haven't lost it. This little tiny piece right here. So it goes right here on the side, so the cord can run out through there. It's almost like they made this thing for it. And this is an old camera, but Nico Carver, I watched one of his videos on it, and he says these are still a great camera for doing astro and all that stuff. So that's it. So I'm pretty much set up. So I got my Blue Eddy. I'm going to use the AC50S. I'm going to use that tonight because I know it definitely has enough power to run this camera all night long, and it didn't even drop down to 80%. But I'm going to be running a dew heater tonight. Let me go grab, because last time I did one in my backyard in the morning, I already started to get dew on this lens, because this is that's just a huge piece of glass right there on the front on this 24 millimeter. So I'll try not to get dew, but here, and another cheap Amazon dew heater. I forget it. I think these things got 13 bucks each, and they just run on USB. So I'll plug that into the Blue Eddy. I'll put it on low. I shouldn't need to go any higher than that because it's pretty dry tonight, and it's not supposed to get any clouds, so it should be good. And I think that's about it. I'm just gonna set this is one of these little magnetic ball mounts, because my pier out here in the backyard, it's just like on the top, it's a disc brake, so it's nice and flat and steel, so that'll sit on there and hold the camera right where I need it. I'm just going to point it kind of center Polaris right in the middle of the frame, and then let her go all night long. And then in the morning, I'll collect it all. I'll bring you guys along onto the computer and show you how I process. That'll be the first time doing it, so you're going to watch me fumble along doing it. But we'll get through it. We'll see if it turns out good. I'll use Sequator. That's what I used for that Milky Way. That was the Milky Way image. I used Sequator. For the other one I used, for the Milky Way time-lapse, I used Lightroom Classic to do the one image and then copy that to the rest of them. And then, what do I use? DaVinci Resolve. That's what I use for the time-lapse. That's what I've been using lately to do videos. Man, that's DaVinci Resolve is nice. I like using that. I was using Open Cut or something. I forget what it was, but it kept on, I don't know, it just wasn't working right. So that's why I started watching videos on DaVinci Resolve and been using that. I like it. It's really strong. It's a good program, especially the free one. That's all I'm going to use is the free one. Anyway, okay, I'm just rambling on now. But yeah, I'm going to get this all set up. Once it gets dark, I've probably got another half hour or so, and then I'm going to get this all set up, and then I'll probably see you guys at the computer tomorrow morning. I mean, there's really nothing to show setting this up. I just set that on the magnet, plug that in, and push start, and it goes. All right, so I'll see you tomorrow morning on the computer. See ya. Okay, so we're back. It was a pretty successful night from what I saw. I didn't see any clouds come in. I already took the SD card out of the camera, downloaded all the images here. So these are all the raw images. And you can see, even from the first image, let me open this with just photos. So you can see there's already stars. And this, I think I started at about 8:30, I think, is what time. So remember, this is just a test, you know, just to see if this is going to work. I've never done it before. And then all the way down to the last image. I woke up at about 5:30 this morning. It was still dark. So let's check out the last image. Last image. And stars. Okay. So no clouds came in. Usually we start getting that marine layer. Oh, look, I think that's Pleiades right there. That's pretty cool. Anyway, let's close that. So let's go over to Lightroom Classic. And I've got them all right here. I haven't imported them yet. So what you do is, I'm still really new with using Lightroom. So you just go over here, find out where your pictures are. They're in my, what is that, the F drive, under RAW. And so you have to check all. I think they already come checked all. Then you got to go over here, import. So you're going to import all of those. So that part there is where I would guess you would find the images that are bad and you don't import those ones. So you only import. Uh-oh. I must have done something wrong because it's not bringing them all. Oh, there they are. So there should be way more than 70. Yeah, okay. I think there is, let's say, 1,001 images. Alright, so this might take a minute. I think I'm going to pause it to make sure these are all in here. Yeah. So I'm importing all these. I'm going to pause it and come back once they're all there. Okay, so now we've got all the images are in here. So we ended up with 1,210. I didn't know I had that many. But as you can see, the histogram is smashed up to the right side. So I think 25 seconds was too long from my bortle 9, but that's alright. I think we could fix all that with exposure once we get in here. So we're gonna go somewhere down here in the middle. So if it was 1,200 photos, so maybe around 6. We'll pick one. I don't know. We'll go 610. We'll go 605. We'll take this one here. So if I click on this one, you can see the histogram's still smashed up against the right side. So we go into develop. So now we're going to work on this one image. So if we get the exposure, turn the exposure down. Now remember, I'm definitely not a pro. I just started using this stuff a couple weeks ago. I've watched a couple YouTube videos. See, just changing exposure, that makes a huge difference. So highlights, what do we do? No, bring those down a little bit. Shadows. Shadows down a little. Whites. I don't think I really mess with whites too much. That's good. Texture. I don't really know what texture does. Oh, okay, so it brings them out a little bit. We'll bring them up a little. Clarity. I guess we can bring that up. Dehaze, I don't think I ever mess with dehaze. Sharpening. Sorry if you can hear my dogs in the background. I got hardwood floors, so every time the dogs make a move, you hear it. Okay, sharpening. Oh, sharpening does a bit, so I'll turn that. I think sharpening, I think that's the one they turn all the way up. None of that stuff. Denoising. Denoise what makes it smoother. Does that make a difference? Oh yeah, so you lose a little bit of the stars. We'll turn it up to... that's all the way down, that's all the way up. I don't think it makes a difference. I think I'm going to keep all the stars. So this is going to be a Startrails image. So I think I want to keep all the stars in there. Color, smoothness. Let's see, new profile correction. I think that'll get rid of any of the... And remove chromatic aberration. Let's see, is that all I want to do to it? I think so. This is just going to be a quick video. So now if I want to paste this to all of them, I think I got to click copy that. So I want to copy all of these settings and then Control A, and now I want to sync. So I'm going to sync all of these settings to all the other images, so they're all going to be the same settings as what I put to this one image. So I'm going to sync. That goes pretty quick, as you can see up here. Pasting settings, boom, it's done. And now you'll see them all changing down here along the, I guess that'd be the time loop, not a timeline, but whatever you call it. So now it's switching all of those, and now I have to export those, which I think you just right click on one of these and then edit. No, that's not what. Oh, you know what, if you click in, that's kind of, it's a little noisy, but you know, I don't care for this one. So I think you gotta go in here, export, there we go. So I'm going to export all of these. So let's see. So these should all be, I'm going to change this to time lapse. Time. Uh-oh, if I push A, it's going to stop my recording. So I'm just going to save it at time because I got hotkeys turned on and I put A as one of my start and stop. So I'm just going to leave that at time because I don't want to push A because then it's going to stop my recording. Okay, it's going to be JPEG. That's all good. That's all good. Export. And I'm going to export it to elements. Put them under 6D, Startrails, and processed. Select that folder. Now this is going to take a while. So I think I'm going to pause it here and I'll come back once it gets done. Okay, so we're back. Man, that took, if I had to guess, I'd say that was probably close to 2 hours for it to process all those. So I'm definitely glad I paused it. But you can tell now that the histogram looks much better. So anyway, so let's go to where I exported these photos to. So these are now the processed photos. So I put them in a process folder. So now let's look at the very first image. And let's open this just with photos. Okay, much better than the original raw data. And let's take a look at the very last one just to make sure there isn't a big difference, which this one is probably going to be a little darker. Let's open this with photos. Yeah, it's pretty good, just darker. Yeah, you can see Pleiades right there. That's pretty cool. Anyway, you won't be able to see it when we do the Startrails. It should just be one big circle, and I think Polaris is somewhere around here. I know it's above this palm tree here when I'm setting everything up in my backyard, but we'll find out here when everything is circling around it. So now let's go into Sequator. This is my second time using Sequator, and I did it for a Milky Way image first, so we double click? Okay, so we double click that. Let me go into where I put these. They are under this Startrails processed. Okay, click on that one. Oh shoot, I can't push Control A because I have Control A set as a hotkey. There we go. That does the same thing. Let's open all of those. Now shoot, I gotta remember. Okay, so it picked that image as like the base image. Nice. Okay, I don't have any. Okay, so we got to do the output. So the output, I'm gonna put it in the same one. I'm just gonna put it in this new folder. Oh, I got to put the file name. File name will be, we'll just call it 1 for now. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so now I gotta go to, I gotta remember how to do all this. Alliance, okay, we want to do Startrails. Motion effect. Shoot, that I don't know. Okay, all the rest of those auto brightness off. Where's the one where it says freeze? Freeze the bottom? Does that only do it on this one? Yeah, freeze ground. But I think that only works. Well, let's give this a shot. We'll see how that does. I might have to go back and change things. Let's see, this might take a while. I don't know. This might not take that long. It's going pretty quick. I got a pretty fast computer. I built this one pretty much for PixInsight. So it processes stuff pretty quick. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pause it because it's going to take a couple of minutes. I'll be right back. Okay, so that took 2 minutes 35 seconds. Not too bad. Let's see how it turned out. Oh, I guess that's pretty cool, but man, I wish it would get rid of all these satellites and planes. I don't know if there's a setting that I'm missing. If you know of anything how to do it, I might play around with it a little more just to see if I can, if there's some kind of algorithm or something that'll get rid of these artifacts. I don't know. Might have to check it out. Maybe, because I know when you're doing the Milky Way one, it'll get rid of it. But anyway, hey, we're here testing. That's what this is all about. Yeah, that still looks pretty cool. Anyway, I think that might wrap that up for this video. Yeah, I think that's cool. So it still freezes everything that doesn't move, which is cool. Yeah, the wind didn't blow too much, so you can see like the palm trees around here. They're not like perfectly in focus because these obviously move with the breeze, but like these cactus from my neighbor, they don't move with a little breeze, so those are kind of in focus. Tiller, the power lines, they don't move. Anyway, cool. Well, that's the finished image. Thanks for watching, and if you like this kind of stuff, give it a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.